Hi, I'm Allie with the Potomac Bead Company, and I'm going to show you the two ways to do basic crimps on the end of your jewelry. The first crimp method is very simple, and it's good for novices to begin with. I have a piece of wire, and I have my crimp bead. I'm going to put my crimp bead or my crimp tube on my wire. I pick up one side of my clasp. I run the wire back through the crimp bead and push it up to the clasp, enough that I can see a little bit of extra wire that I have movement, but not too much wire that I see. You just take a flat or a needle nose pliers, go right over top of that crimp tube, and squash it flat. That's known as a flat crimp. It's a little bit wide, but it does the job and holds nicely. The other method that you can use is a crimping pliers. For that method, I do the same thing where I put on my crimp tube, I put on my clasp, I run my wire back through my crimp tube, push it up against. The crimp pliers have two jaws. They have two bumps in the jaws. They have a back bump and the front bump. You always want to start closest to your hands with that back bump. It's a little bit kidney shaped, and then you move closer out. For that back bump, it's going to create a little divot in your wire. You want to line your crimp bead up so that you can't see it behind the crimp pliers, and you're going to give a nice little squash. What that does is create like a bow tie effect in the crimp bead and a little groove. I then turn the crimp bead to the side so that it's lining up perpendicular. I move it to the front of the crimp pliers, and what that's going to do is fold those two ends towards one another. That gives a nice polished end, and that's how you use the crimping pliers. Those are the two different techniques and the two different ways in order to crimp down on your pliers. If you have trouble with the crimping pliers, Flat Pliers does the same trick. So whichever way you feel comfortable, you can get the same end result.